Welcome back to Coeur Patriot Way, where we are interviewing locally owned businesses here in North Idaho. And today we're going to be interviewing Alan. He has a super beneficial business if you're really into health and fitness and just generally living longer and having a better quality of life. I'm excited for you to listen to this and get to know Alan and come out fitter, stronger, faster. So welcome onto the podcast, Alan.
Thanks for having me. Yeah.
I'll put my laptop down. But so can you go into, because my super superb introduction didn't mention your business name or anything like that, but can you go into that and
Yeah, absolutely. So my wife and I are independent distributors for Enagic, which Enagic is a Japanese company, and they sell primarily water ionizers. They sell a couple other products as well, but we were fortunate enough to get introduced to it a couple years ago, and it's pretty amazing stuff. So through Enagic, we sell water ionizers, and it's called Kangen Water. But truly what ionized water is electrolyzed reduced water. So what happens is your water comes through the tap, it goes through this machine. In the flagship product, which is the K8, there's 8 titanium coated metal plates in there. And as the water goes through those, it passes through and it goes through the electrolysis process and ionizes the water. And what comes out on the other end is various degrees of pH balanced water, primarily the true fresh 9.5 balanced pH water. So it's a really cool product. It has a bunch of different benefits for you.
Yeah, and full disclosure, I have one of these machines, the K8, on several podcasts, YouTube shows where they were talking about, is it the correct term, ionized water?
Yeah. I mean, what comes out is electrolyzed reduced water, but ionized water as well. Yeah.
And the alkaline water, which in the stores, the alkaline water, because it fades over time, right? So unless you have a machine and you're doing it and it's fresh, you lose that alkaline quality, is what I understand.
Well, yeah, and the water in the stores, you've all seen the major name brands, and on their label it says 9.5 pH balanced water. But if you turn that over and you look at the other side of the label, there's ingredients. Well, water shouldn't have ingredients. So what they do is they add chemicals to make it 9.5 pH balanced, but it truly isn't. Yeah.
Can you go into the health benefits of, because you can explain it way better than me, because being a former, or never say former, but in the military service, Marine Corps, eat crayons, and proud of it.
That's right.
But you can explain it a lot more scientifically in terms of the health benefits. For me, I noticed a huge difference in my energy levels, and what I've seen in like the podcast I was talking about, where our bodies are great filtration systems, but when they have to filter out those chemicals, your body's working harder. It shouldn't have to be working.
Right.
So
what I would say is I don't make any guarantees that this stuff's gonna, cure cancer or anything like that, right? But what we've learned and what we do know, and I'll go back to the 1930s. There was a guy named Dr. Otto Warburg. He, I guess he discovered the causation of cancer. And in his research, he realized that disease thrives in an acidic environment. And it can't survive or doesn't do well in an alkalized environment. And so when we look at all the different fluids that we drink throughout the day, whether it be a ton of water, a ton of coffee, which I drink way more coffee than I should, even your tap water is more on the acidic side of the pH spectrum. Soda is horrible. Besides the fact that it's full of sugar, on the acidity level, it's super acidic. Well, that's the nice thing about Kangen water, and being that electrolyzed reduced water, it really is pure, true, fresh, alkalized water. It's not just alkaline, but it's alkalized. Health benefits, I can tell you, my oldest daughter, when we moved to the area, she was struggling pretty well with eczema. And then we got introduced to this stuff, and I mean, it's all but gone. Maybe a flare up once in a while, but man, I tell you what.
And that's from drinking it.
And she drinks almost exclusively Kangen water. Yeah. So again, not to say this is the end all be all cure for everything. But a lot of people do see health benefits from drinking true 9.5 pH balanced water.
And the fact that I learned about the minerals, how a lot of filtration systems will filter out these minerals that your body needs, and the machine doesn't filter out those minerals.
So what it is not is a water filtration system. It does have a filter on it, but that primarily filters out chlorine. Truly what the machine is doing is ionizing the water. And I'm talking about the 9.5 pH balance, but it goes from 2.5. There's, I believe, 6 different pH levels that you can get out of this machine. From 2.5, which is super acidic, all the way up to 11.5, which is obviously really high on the pH scale. And there's benefits in that too. The 2.5 is a natural degreaser. So all these vegetables that we get, even the organic ones, my studies, I've learned that they use organic pesticides.
Think so. I know they're pesticide free.
To help grow these things. So I'll soak all of my vegetables. Everything goes in a bowl full of 2.5 water. And after about 30 minutes, have you done this?
I have. And it is almost like magic, some magic, that when the fruit, it doesn't ever go bad, or you literally take, one time I took an apple and I soaked it in the 2.5, and then I took another same batch, and that apple is like almost like one of those plastic apples that never, because I guess it doesn't oxidize or something. It prevents oxidation.
Yeah. It's something like that happens. And so that's the 2.5. Then you go up to the 11.5, which is an emulsifier. Switch that. You soak in the 11.5. The 2.5 is the degreaser.
Oh, gotcha.
So.
Oh, that's right.
So with the natural degreaser and the 2.5, you make your own cleaning products at home. And so you're not spraying chemicals on your countertops.
And I've been doing that a lot. So I've probably saved hundreds and hundreds of dollars because the harmful things about the chlorine or the bleach and stuff. But I do for the cleaning, I put 2.5. Is there another method that I can use for general cleaning, like countertops, toilet, stuff like that? Is it just 2.5?
Honestly, I use the 2.5. Yeah, I don't use the other stuff. I'll mix the 2.5 with,
And that's what I've been doing. So just making sure I'm doing it right.
Yeah, that's all I use for the cleaning aspect of it. Yeah.
Cleaning materials. I also I had ankle surgery because I'm really bad at falling. And I didn't do a ton of jumps when I was in the military, but I did enough to where I messed my ankle up.
For to airborne training, Fort Benning, Georgia, and was finally accepted.
At ankle surgery, and I sprayed the 2.5 on the cut or the incision.
Yeah.
And it anecdotal, but it healed super fast.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never tried that.
And I was just experiment for myself,
That's interesting.
Because I did read when you guys gave me the informational that it was a disinfectant. So I'm thinking, number one thing after surgeries, and I'm not recommending anyone do this, but for me, I like when I get a scrape or a cut, I spray that on there.
I'm gonna have to try that because
I almost feel like it's. Have you ever watched My Big Fat Greek Wedding? When I was when I was in the, I hate to sound like the Big Lebowski, and I'm always bringing up the military. But,
Jesus,
you said it, man.
But when I was at one of my duty stations back, we had all we had was like this little TV, and we only had one VHS, and it was My Big Fat Greek Wedding.
Yep.
But a bunch of Marines.
It's not for everyone.
We're just watching the big. But anyway, in the movie, they like the Windex. Like they use the Windex for everything.
Could be cured with Windex.
That's pretty much essentially what this is. It's just like
essentially with this, you're making your own Windex, basically, without all the chemicals in it. Yeah.
Well, it's good information, and I'm. What did you mix? You used the 2.5 for the like the Windex like stuff.
I believe so. The 2.5 is a degreaser. The 11.5 is an emulsifier. So, and I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. I think because I haven't made any in a while. I can't remember if I do the 11.5, but I'll do that with a little bit of vinegar and a little bit of dish soap. And it I clean my windows with it. And
that's awesome.
It works out well.
Yeah. It is something that is like one of the most important things that we could be doing is making sure we're drinking clean water, and then also having something that's kind of offsetting some of my lifestyle choices. Yeah. Are you familiar with the blue zones? So it's this thing I heard that because I'm a learned college graduate.
There you go.
I don't know how I passed, but there's these blue zones around the globe where people live abnormally longer than the average lifespan. So Japan's one of them, and a place in Japan, and is this a coincidence that this Kangen machine, that this certain they take a lot of importance into the water quality. Can you talk about the supplements? Because I feel like I get a lot of health benefits from the supplements. Would you like to kind of explain that better? Because I don't even want to try to. Yeah,
so I mentioned that, at least I think I mentioned that Enagic has a few products that they sell. Mm-hmm. One is the water ionizers, and there's various levels of that. But they also sell, it's called the Enespa. And what that is it kind of looks like a little mini torpedo almost. And you hook it up to your shower. Yeah. And it's got 2 filters in it that are full of minerals. And as you're showering, those minerals are eating up basically all the junk that's in our water that we're showering with. I mean, if you think about it, our skin is the largest organ in our body. And hopefully every day, maybe every other day, depends on the person, right?
Right.
You're showering and your body is just soaking up all this garbage, essentially. Yeah. And so the Enespa, in layman's terms, basically I get a mineral shower every day. Man. And like right away for me, I saw some huge improvements in my skin. Given my current line of work, oftentimes I'll have some skin issues on my back and whatnot. Just, heat gets held in with various things that I wear. And that's pretty much all but gone away. Yeah. And I attribute it to the fact that I drink alkalized water and I take a quality shower every day. The third main product that they sell, really the third product altogether, is it's a turmeric supplement. Mm-hmm. It's their Atchicon line. What the turmeric supplement is you can get it in different forms. You can get little turmeric capsules that you take every day. They have soap that they make. It's turmeric soap. So they take out all the harmful chemicals that the major companies put in their soap. That stuff's not in there. It's a turmeric soap.
Yeah, and it's crazy. And
Have you used it?
so I use the pills.
Okay.
But ever since I've been using them, you guys hooked me up with a supply, and I'm still working on it. They like one thing is energy level for me.
Yeah.
And like I said, I know it's anecdotal, but I just have. If I stop taking them, I feel like my energy. I don't have as much energy. I'm not as sharp.
Yeah.
Which I'll take every little bit to help me. You know.
Well, the cool thing about turmeric is it's an anti-inflammatory. And so Enagic, they harvest their own turmeric in Okinawa. So Okinawa, Japan is where the company is based out of. They have fields where they grow their own turmeric. And I haven't been there. My hope is to go there in the next year or two.
Yeah, I'll show you around.
Yeah, let's go. But the fields that they have, the soil is pure soil. In other words, they're not throwing a bunch of pesticides and stuff into that soil. And they're watering this turmeric with Kangen water. And so you're really getting a pure turmeric supplement.
And Okinawa is a blue zone. They live stupid long there.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't know. I got to imagine it's got something to do with the way they're living. They live longer than us.
Right.
You know? And then the third turmeric supplement that you can get is a simple tea. So turmeric tea. Yeah. And so usually at night I'll have some tea.
What does turmeric taste like? I'll have to...
It doesn't taste bad. Like it's a good tea. I'll set you up with some.
Yes.
Yeah,
Nice.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was lucky enough to come across you guys or get introduced to this, and I didn't have to put in any research. I trust you guys. So Mike is going to help you. All right. I'll get one. Now, someone that's interested, what's the process that they need to go to get a machine or get the I forgot the name of it, thing for the mineral shower or the vitamins in a spa. What's the best way to get a hold of you or get this machine? Because I know there's also a business opportunity with this as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So the best way to get a hold of us is follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Realize True Health. My wife and I took that, and like Realize True Health for us it's not just, hey, let's go out and make a ton of money, right? It's a totality of everything. We want to live a life where we can live and give generously. We want to teach our kids how to be generous, how to live a life that is focused on God. And at the same time, if you make some money doing it, great. And if you can make money where maybe you can walk away from that 9 to 5 or that, gosh, I've given everything for so long.
Right. You're at Public Works and you've been working at 9 to 5.
Yeah. Public Works or anything like that. Right. Even guys in the military that get out and they're like, well, what do I do now? You know, I got my retirement check, but
I'm still thinking that.
Right. I've worked with guys that, they got out of the military, they retired from the military after like storied careers. And then they got their retirement check and they said, well, back to work.
Yeah, like working for the railroad.
Yeah, doing something like that. So the best way to get a hold of us, if you're just interested in getting one of the water ionizers or one of the other products, hit us up on Facebook or Instagram, Realize True Health. If you go to our page, though, there's going to be a link, and it's going to be a link to an Iconic Marketer free course, and that's the business side of things. Yeah, which I'm not gonna dish out too much on the business side of things because I really want people to check out the link, watch the videos, and see if it's for them.
Yeah, living a life to where you can be generous and you're also improving the quality of people's lives on it, helping them live healthier. Because just because you live 80, 90 years doesn't mean all those 80, 90 years, the quality of life and supporting people. And also being able to witness to them and help them. And I hate being so corny and like living your best life, right? But really, to where that's what I love about my job in real estate is real estate. Selling houses, but when you see people being exactly where they need to be for the purpose, what the purpose in life is for. But then the health aspect comes into it quite a bit. So,
yeah. And one of the things we found is, a lot of people are really in the same boat. I mean, for the most part, you wake up, you worry, you go to work, you come home, you go to bed, and you do it all over again the next day. And what we found is that people are prioritizing money, time, and health in that order. And so people are going to work to make money, to pay the bills, get a paycheck, maybe go on a vacation here and there, and they do it all over again. But what if you could build a business where the money that you're making is allowing you to live a very healthy lifestyle, and you're not working 9 to 5. Maybe you're doing a couple hours a day, creating content, running ads, jumping on a call with somebody, and you're doing that. And then that's allowing you the time to go out and spend that time with your families and spend that money that you've earned building memories instead of just paying bills.
Right. Yeah. Well said.
Thanks. That's just a little sneak peek to the call. If we ever jump on a call with anybody, that's a little sneak peek of some of the information that you'll get in there.
Strongly encourage people to look into the Kangen machine and the business opportunity. We're made up of 90% of water, 99% water. We're just pretty much walking around water balloons.
Exactly. What I can tell you and your listeners is this opportunity, if it's for you, great. If not, that's okay too. Yeah. There's no pressure in you got it. Like if we jump on a call, I'm closing you at the end of that call. That's not how I operate. I don't want anybody to feel like they were forced into something that they weren't ready to do. I was on a call with a guy I think it was last week or the week before. And he's like, yeah, I'm in. I want in on this thing. Absolutely. But he's had some relationship things that have happened. And so he's just not in a place financially where he can jump in right now. But I told him, listen, that doesn't mean I'm going to write you off. I'm still going to check in with you, see how you're doing. I mean, this is a partnership. This is a team. Yeah. Right. We want to build a team and mentor people to be successful. And that's the goal. Yeah. Help people live their best life. Help them to make some money, live healthy, and be able to enjoy the time that they have here on Earth with their family, with the people that matter, right?
Thanks, Alan. Thanks for coming on and sharing that. And I'll put all the links in the description so people can reach out to you, to your social and to your website and email so they can get connected.
Yeah, awesome. I appreciate it.
All right, have a good day.
Yeah, you too.